Hello and welcome to KLM Institute.
Today's top story is a bold and historic move by French President Emmanuel Macron, one that's shaking up international politics and may change the course of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. France has officially announced it will recognize a Palestinian state this September, becoming the first Western member of the UN Security Council and the first G7 nation to do so. Macron's announcement came late in the evening on X, formerly Twitter. While this move had been expected for months, few saw it coming so suddenly, without a summit or major press event. But it sends a powerful signal. France believes the time for action is now. Why now? The humanitarian crisis in Gaza has reached horrifying levels. Since May alone, over 1,000 Gazans have died just searching for food. And overall, more than 20,000 children and over 50,000 civilians, men, women, the elderly, have been killed during Israel's military operations. Many are calling it what it looks like, a genocide. Major human rights organizations and global figures, including UN experts, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and prominent voices like former UN Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese, have publicly labeled Israel's actions in Gaza as genocide. The International Court of Justice (ICJ) has also opened proceedings to investigate these allegations. France's recognition is not just symbolic. It's a political earthquake, breaking the long-standing reluctance of major Western powers to officially back Palestinian statehood. France now joins Spain, Norway, and Ireland, who recently recognized Palestine. A senior French official told CNN, "We won't be the only ones recognizing Palestine in September." That's a clear message to countries like the UK and Germany. The pressure is on. Will other European nations follow? It's possible, especially after Macron made the first move. With public opinion shifting and Gaza's suffering impossible to ignore, some European governments may decide they can no longer stay silent. The global reaction came fast. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez praised the move, saying, "We must protect what Netanyahu is trying to destroy, the two-state solution." Saudi Arabia called it historic and encouraged more nations to act. Jordan, the Palestinian Authority, and even Hamas also welcomed Macron's decision. Hamas called it a positive step, urging all European nations to follow France's lead. So far, the countries that have publicly welcomed the move include Spain, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Palestinian Authority, Hamas. More are expected to join as September approaches. But the backlash has also been strong. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called France's move a reward for terror, claiming a Palestinian state would become a launchpad to annihilate Israel. In the US, Secretary of State Marco Rubio called it a slap in the face to the victims of the October 7th Hamas attack. The United States, as Israel's closest ally, is unlikely to follow France's lead, at least not under current leadership. France, for its part, is walking a careful line. Macron strongly supported Israel after the October 7th attacks, but later grew critical of how the war was being handled. France banned arms exports to Israel, dropped aid into Gaza, and repeatedly called for a ceasefire and access for journalists and humanitarian aid. France's recognition doesn't define borders, but the message is clear: the status quo cannot continue. Macron's move could spark a domino effect in Europe, and perhaps even beyond. But what are the consequences? France is risking its diplomatic capital. Relations with Israel will almost certainly get worse. But if other European nations follow, it could reshape the global narrative around Palestine. It may also boost efforts for a lasting ceasefire, peace talks, and future negotiations on a two-state solution. Will it change conditions in Gaza overnight? Probably not. But politically, It could be the turning point the world has waited for. Thanks for watching KLM Institute. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll continue to bring you the most important global stories, simply explained and powerfully delivered. Stay informed, stay aware, stay human.